The 20 win challenge, guys, starts in a few days on October 24th. There's going to be gold crates. You can get elite wildcards, lucky chests, and an exclusive 20 win emote, and also a 20 win special badge. As always, guys, the decks you use for the 20 win challenge is very important if you want to complete the challenge or get as far as possible. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys 5 different decks that are going to be very good for the 20 win challenge, so that way you guys have a few days to practice these decks and also figure out between them which one is most suited for your playstyle. And I'm also going to be talking about for each deck some adjustments you could make to the deck. The Evo Royal Ghost, guys, is one of the best evolutions in the game. Even though it's only been out for a few days, a lot of people have realized that, so you can expect to see it a lot inside of the 20 win challenge. In fact, I actually think it is the best evolution in the game right now, and it's really good inside of Royal Giant decks. There's a lot of different kinds of Royal Giant variants you can use. For starters, you can use Lightning instead of the Fireball if you want, but I think the Fireball just tends to be a little bit more consistent, but it really just comes down to preference and the matchup at the end of the day. Luckily, that Hunter was able to clutch up there on that Giant Skeleton, and you can use another RG deck without the Evo Ghost if you want as well. Maybe you want to use Evo Hunter instead of the Evo Ghost and the Evo RG, and then you could actually use Monk in the deck if you want. So then you put Monk in for the Ghost. So there's a lot of different versions you can use, and it really comes down to personal preference. So this guy's got kind of a crazy deck here, and he's going to go in for arrows. I guess he was predicting something, I don't know what. With his E-Barbs, though, being out of hand, could be a good time to go in for the Royal Giant here. So in this video, you guys are going to be seeing me play against decks that you probably don't want to be running in the 20 win challenge. So if you guys are finding yourself running a mid-ladder type of deck like what this guy's running, then just know you might want to be making some adjustments before the challenge ends up starting. And even though, guys, the Royal Ghost is the best evolution in the game right now, in my opinion, I'm not going to, don't worry, all 5 decks aren't going to have the Evo Ghost, but, spoiler alert, more than one. So more than just this deck out of the 5, you will see the Evo Ghost in it, but I'm going to include some others as well to show you guys some other good evolutions in this meta. As you guys can see, the Ghosts spawn in, and yeah, it's just really broken. I don't know why they thought it would be balanced. You're just getting 2 more Royal Ghosts spawning in, and it's just the amount of value it gets is ridiculous. That Scarmy there ended up cleaning up, though, really, really nicely. And I guess at this point, we could just go in for a Royal Giant here. I guess we could just go in for Skeletons and E-Spirit. Royal Giant, guys, is just really good in this meta. Ever since they nerfed a bunch of the cards, like Vines, for example, and also the Chef Tower, and some of the other cards that countered RG really well, it's just been significantly better. And also, another small spoiler, Gob Giant is not going to be one of the 5 decks. They absolutely killed it in the last set of balance changes, so it's not really going to be that good for the 20 win challenge. You're definitely going to have to run some other win conditions, and I've been one of those people running, you know, the Gob Giant a lot before it got nerfed. So probably for me, guys, I will say the first 20 win run that I do typically play it on a few accounts, and they of course do allow you to play it on many accounts as long as you own them. You're not allowed to be pushing other people's accounts. That's how you get banned in the 20 win challenge. Every year, though, that always ends up happening. But anyways, guys, the second deck I'm going to be running is this Bridge Spam deck here with the Evo Furnace, the Evo Zap, Ramrider, Boss Bandit, Spirit Empress, and the Vines are actually in the deck, as you guys can see. The Vines are far from being dead. They're just a lot worse after the nerf, but inside of Bridge Spam especially, they're still very good. But anyway, what I was going to say is probably Royal Giant is going to be what I complete the 20 win challenge first with. It's going to be my first run because I just think it's so solid in the meta. This deck is very good as well. There's been so many people running this deck inside of the top 200 recently. The Spirit Empress is definitely better after the balance changes because a lot of the strong cards got nerfed, so technically anything that wasn't nerfed is a little bit better. It might be a strange way of thinking about it, but I really do think it is true. Really nice Monk ability by him. I gotta give credit where it's due. Ended up getting so much value, and then that Fireball cleaned everything up, so that was pretty well played by this guy. I guess we could probably just go in for a Boss Bandit in the back here. I know there's a lot of casual players that really hate the Boss Bandit, and I don't blame them. She is really annoying. He's going to go in for a Fisherman. I think we just go in for a Ramrider here. We might as well get some pressure going. And he is going to go in for a Monk. I guess let's go Vines to tie up the Monk so that way the Ramrider can sneak through. Going for a Zap here. And as you guys can see, we do end up getting a ton of damage. Apparently this guy has level 14 towers. So I suppose he's got a little bit of a disadvantage. But to be real, even if his towers were level 15... we still would have gotten a ton of damage there. The Boss Bandit, for goodness sake, has so much health, I doubt it would have really made that big of a difference. If I had to guess, his tower would probably have maybe 500 more health or 700 at most, but we still would have taken half of his tower regardless in that scenario. And he still has most of his cards at level 15. So let's just go for the Boss Bandit here. And I decided to play at 15k. I typically do it at you know, ranked, but I figured since I'm doing 5 decks back to back and I don't want to edit the video, and there's a long queue time as well on ranked because I'm currently top 500 right now, I figured I would just do this. And yeah, this guy is definitely struggling to defend. Just going for the skeletons here, going for the Evo Furnace. The Evo Furnace, guys, is still really good even after the nerf it ended up getting. I think the regular Furnace is not very good, but the Evolution you guys can definitely still run. And in my opinion, for those of you guys looking for a Boss Bandit deck, because maybe that's your favorite champion to use, this is definitely what I would recommend using. And I also think this is the best Ramrider deck right now. I don't think P.E.K.K.A. Ramrider is that good. I don't really think Mega Knight Ramrider is that good. But this Ramrider deck is really, really solid. I think it's good on defense and also good on offense. And I really do think this is the type of deck where it has so much outplay potential. You really can win just about any matchup if you play perfectly. Evo Zap being able to kill things like the Firecracker, which could be a nuisance for some people, or the minions, which are still really strong. Evo Zap can just take them out really, really easily. So that's going to be the second deck, guys, that I think is going to be very, very good for the 20-win challenge. The third deck, guys, is going to be a Evo Royal Ghost deck again. This time, though, it's going to be in Royal Hogs, and you got the Evo Skeleton Army in the deck. I think this is one of the best Evo Skeleton Army decks in the game because you got a couple good tanks, guys, for the Evolved Skeleton Army General, right? You have the Split Royal Hogs, so you can go in for the Scarmy behind, and the Split Royal Hogs are tanking for it, which can be really solid in a lot of circumstances. On top of that, you have the Giant Skeleton as well. You have the Mother Witch, which can tank for the General too. So you have a lot of different tanks for it. So it's very solid. And this guy's got the Cannoneer, it looks like, and the Bush. I don't know what that Bush was. That was a very questionable play. But we're just going to cycle a Giant Skeleton in the back here. And also, guys, I forgot if I mentioned already, I'm planning on doing a full walkthrough for the 20-win challenge, going from 0 to 20 wins. So hopefully you guys are interested in that, because I remember a couple of years ago I did that and people really, really liked it. So I'm thinking I figured I would do that again, and I would go, yeah, from 0 to 20. And I might do that with Royal Giant, because I was thinking that would be the first deck that I do it with. So he's going to go in for the log here, and he's going to have a rough time defending this. I don't know what he's going to do. By the way, guys, the deck that this guy's running, I would not recommend using it for the 20-win challenge. It really fell out of the meta. The Suspicious Bush bait spam deck, it's not good anymore. So I would not use it. The reason why, guys, it's not really that good anymore is it just... a lot of the cards in it got nerfed, right? So the Evo Skeleton Barrel, for example, got nerfed, so it's not nearly as good anymore. And it's just not nearly as good anymore in this specific meta either. And the Bush guys fell off a ton too. It's actually one of the worst win conditions in the game right now. It might even be like a bottom 3 win condition, because it's just not reliable for getting damage. Right as I say that, though, he just got some. So I guess, you know, even though I'm not playing on ranked, I guess what that does mean is I guess I should probably trash the opponent's decks a little bit, and kind of, it's good for examples of what you don't want to run in the 20-win challenge. So going for the Royal Ghost here, we got to get rid of this General. Oh my gosh. Can we please kill it? That was kind of scary for a second. So split lane pressure, as you can see, General in one lane, and it just makes things kind of annoying, right? You see this deck is just a bunch of spam, and the General does finally go down, but not before he lost his left tower. Mother Witch is really good in this meta because there's a lot of people running spammy cards. Of course, the Scarmy is going to be used a lot because the Evo Scarmy is pretty good. And also there's still people running things, of course, like maybe bats or minion horde, minions, even gob barrel, just bait in general. The Mother Witch is going to be really good against, and it just tends to have very good synergy in this deck, especially with the Evolve Scarmy, of course. So this is going to be another really easy win over here, third game. Hopefully we can go 5 for 5. I know we are at 15k, but still would be good to go 5 for 5 for this video. And I'll show you guys what the fourth deck I have here, which I think is also good. I think all of these 5 decks, guys, I think there's going to be so many people that complete the 20 win with them. I genuinely believe that. The fourth deck, guys, a non-Evo Ghost deck, is going to be the Evo Baby Drag, Evo Knight, E-Giant with the God Put. Guys, the E-Giant is in a very good spot right now. Even though the Evolve Baby Dragon, guys, they made it 2 cycles and it's no longer 1, it is still an above average evolution. A lot of people weren't expecting that, but especially now inside of beatdown decks, now you can't just plop it in any cycle deck and have success, right? It's not good inside of Royal Hogs anymore. For example, that Royal Hog cycle deck it was so good in, it's going to be very good inside of heavy decks like Golem and E-Giant. And right now, guys, the E-Giant is actually better than the Golem. And the reason why, I think, is largely because of the minions nerf. It's helped E-Giant a bit, so it's actually been able to be viable, because with everyone running the minions and the minion horde, with them outranging the E-Giant, essentially, that's made it really hard. But there's been less people running it, so it's given more of a chance again to E-Giant to have success. And then the Bowler's also really good in this meta, which pairs very well with the E-Giant as well. And speaking of the Bowler, we're just going to go in for the Bowler on the Mortar. Bowler's going to be really good against a lot of the buildings like Mortar and Expo. Expo's in a decent spot, so there's probably going to be a good amount of people running it in the 20-win challenge. With the Bowler is going to be nice against. And then it's also good against a lot of the other things in this meta. For example, like the Gob Hut. So when you have the Bowler coming in, it can maybe reach and hit the Spear Goblins that come out of the hut. And also things against Royal Hogs, if there's a lot of people running that. So this is kind of a little bit of a challenging matchup, so I'm a bit curious how this is going to go. I really don't want to overspend too much, so that's why I didn't. Okay, so the Mortar does get 1 shot. Now he's not going to have the Evo, though, in cycle, and I think we could definitely come back. We just need a good push, so even though he had a nice start, I'm not too worried. What I am wondering, though, is if this guy has a rocket, and because of that, I don't want to play my Bowler in this lane and just give him an opportunity to get a free rocket, because that wouldn't be very good. So he's being really aggressive now. I'm just going to go for a Knight like this to distract the Mortar, and it's walking towards the Mortar, so now we need to go in for an E-Giant, and hopefully... Okay, wow, so he just went in for a Cannon Cart. I want to Lightning this because we need to get rid of the Firecracker, and that's really solid. Look at that. NATO to kill the bats, Cannon Cart goes down, and just like that, guys, we took the lead. We have a really big lead now. He cannot let that go. Wow. Yeah, he played that Cannon Cart so late. Okay, so I guess we'll just go in for the Baby Drag now. He goes in for a Mortar, but he plays it... Wow, that's a questionable Mortar. I don't know why he played it in the same lane that I'm going in. I'm definitely fine letting that lock on the tower because I feel like it's for the greater good. Now we can get a really good counter push going. Going for the E-Giant here. And by the way, guys, I forgot if I said this, what the equivalent of getting 20 wins is. Getting 15,000 trophies is way easier than getting 20 wins. I would say, guys, getting 20 wins in the 20-win challenge is equivalent to getting around 25 wins inside of a Royal tournament, in my opinion. But I would also say finishing top 1,000 on ladder is probably a little harder than getting 20 wins. I would say getting 20 wins might be equivalent to getting about a top 5,000 finish because there's usually around a few thousand people that get 20 wins every time. The last deck, guys, is another Evo Royal Ghost deck. This, in my opinion, guys, is actually probably the best deck in the game currently. It's a Evolve Wall Breakers, Evo Royal Ghost, Miner, Poison control deck. This is the type of deck, guys, that I could easily see finishing #1 in the world this season because of how good the Evo Ghost is, and you got a fast cycle. You're getting to that Evo Ghost really quickly. The Archer Queen is really solid in this deck because she's going to be able to survive things like Poison that so many people are running, and I think that in this deck, she just tends to pair very well after the champion rework. And this guy actually went in for Vines on top of the Queen. I was not expecting that. And the Bandit does end up reaching. Wow, okay, I was not expecting him to go for Vines there. But yeah, the Archer Queen pairs very well in this deck. We'll just go for Ghost here to pressure. You could also use Little Prince if you want in this deck as well. And also, guys, you can definitely use Log instead of the Bar Barrel if you want as well. So it really comes down to personal preference. But the Bar Barrel just helps you out defensively so much, I feel like. And it's debatable, but I feel like the Bar Barrel is better than Log currently, or it's very, very close. It really depends on the deck and the matchup, I feel like. So I don't know if he's going to go in for Vines here. He may, but yep, that's why I went in for the Queen ability early, because I had a feeling he was going to do that. So we still ended up getting a little value beforehand, which is solid. And hopefully this... Okay, thank goodness. I was so worried the Ghost wasn't going to attack in time, and then the Bandit was going to just dash on my tower. Luckily that didn't happen. So we'll just go in for a Bar Barrel here. And I guess we could go Miner, and then we want to go Wall Breakers to kite that back. And then look at that. It stays alive, forces Vines out of him, and then the death damage comes in, and then that still connects. Guys, the Evo Wall Breakers are still top 3 evolution in my opinion. That is why this deck is so broken. You have the most broken evolution in the game, the Evo Ghost, and then you got the Evo Wall Breakers, which are a top 3 Evo in my opinion. Even though they nerfed the amount of death damage it deals, so it doesn't deal as much damage as surrounding units, when they explode, it's hardly done anything in my opinion. Like, they're still completely broken. And did this guy... He just gave up. He just gave up. That's just how broken the deck is. He just gave up. I don't know if I can blame him. Wow. I mean, that's crazy. But yeah. We didn't even have to use the God Pod. The thing is, depending on the matchup, you sometimes don't even have to play it a lot. It really depends on what they're using. Let me just check what he was running. We would have won anyway, I feel like, no matter what he had. He didn't even have a win condition. Sir, once again, not a deck you want to be running for the 20-win challenge. So, guys, make sure for the 20-win challenge, your decks look something like on the left side of the screen on the battle log, and not like one of the decks on the right. Although this guy, okay, this guy, good deck, not bad. The others, I wouldn't recommend it, but that's not actually a bad deck. RG with Monk. So only 1 out of the 5 decks I faced were decent in my opinion. But anyway, guys, good luck in the 20-win challenge. I'm planning on doing a full walkthrough guide video on it, but I figured I'd show you guys 5 decks that are good for it so you can practice. And even if you can't get 20 wins, maybe try to get as far as possible, because I'm pretty sure you still get a badge at 17 or 18 wins. So could still be worth playing even if you can't get 20. And you never know unless you try, right? And there's also other rewards you get too. But make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. And thanks again. Until next time, guys.